And this is the reason why you don't test a smoke machine in a very small little study.
I love this smoke machine. It's like a cauldron. Yeah.
Okay, now that the smoke has settled, we are going to take this hybrid HSV 2000 DL smoke machine, which is predominantly an inside machine, and we're going to make it work outside in this specific fitting. This lamp used to be a nice little outdoor fitting with a nice little gentle flame, but they wanted something more violent. Now your stage pyrotechnics isn't advisable to run it automatically, and they want this thing to run automatically every hour, do a 15-minute burst or whatever, so we decided to give them a nice bright colorful flame type effect using the smoke machine. So we're going to void the warranty and make something beautiful. Now to undo all the nice little wires that's hidden all over the show on this pipe. I'm going to try to feed this back a bit. Okay. And of course I need to loosen some wires. That's and there we go. Just like Dave says, we're in like Flynn. So let's take a look at how the machine works. Okay, let's undo a few more screws quickly. Throw the machine around a bit.
Okay, so that was not supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen, I know.
What wasn't supposed to happen?
It's full.
I need a bigger workbench.
Yep, you do. This mommy never buys you one. It's just that you might break it.
Okay, I'm going to take your handheld just so we can go through basically how this machine operates. So this is your inlet pipe from the cylinder that's got the smoke fluid in it, which is a water-based glycol mix. It then comes into this solenoid-based pump here, which pumps into your heater block. And then the heater block goes and heats up the oil till it vaporizes, and then it comes out as the steam or the smoke basically.
Yeah.
If we look over here, we've got our thermal cutout here on the heater block, and we've also got built into the heater block, we've got a thermocouple probe to check the temperature and make sure it's not too high, that it's burning the liquid, and it's not too low, that it's just going to squirt out the liquid. Got a cooling fan at the side over here, and then if we come down this side, okay, we've got a switch mode power supply. We've got our main control board in there. Look down here, we've got our two DMX interfaces to link to the computer. We've got the little control and screen there. This is interesting. It's got a, looks like a radio remote control symbol. It has a 3-core cable coming out of it going to the control board, but there's no documentation about a wireless remote. So that's something that will be fun to play with. And over here we've got our manual fog button, our power button, and our IEC inlet socket that's got a built-in fuse. Yeah, this is your relay to operate your heating elements over here. And then over here is your pulse width modulated outputs for the LED bank. So if you look over here, a nice big plate. It's got
LEDs.
It's got 21 LEDs. If you look at the label here, it's red 3 watts by 7 pieces, green 3 watts by 7 pieces, and blue 3 watts by 7 pieces.
I knew there's LEDs.
Okay, so this basically we're going to be taking this bank of LEDs out. We're going to be making it weatherproof, probably epoxy in it or potting it or something. That's going to come into the top of that fitting that I showed you. Then we're going to have to find out what's the best way to extend this heater element's output. And it is still hot from when I was running it just now, so that kind of burnt my finger.
I was like running this.
Now we've got comments from the peanut gallery over here. Who's busy trying to take a video with a lens cap on the camera. Okay, so we're going to have to find some way to extend this output about 1.7 to 1.9 meters. And we have to see what the best way to do that is. So because this hasn't been done before, it's all guesswork and we hope it's going to turn out good. Okay, so this Fanny remote control receiver is bugging me, so I think we're going to open it up right now and see what it is. Just cut away the nice little cable ties.
And now they put the cable ties there.
Yeah, will the pineapple go brown if it's left?
If it's left in the fridge, it should be okay.
That's my uncle's son.
Maybe we should ask the viewers that. If you leave a pineapple cut open in the fridge, will it go brown? Post in the comments below. Amazing the things you learn about on an electronics channel, eh?
I know how to make a lemon of copper and silk to make a clock work.
Yeah, he's trying to make a battery-powered clock using a lemon and copper and zinc plates. So maybe we can post that one day, once I'm finished with this big construction. Okay, so what do we have in here? We've got a coiled antenna. We have got a nice big can over there. And if you look at that chip, it's an LM358 op-amp. So it's just a basic little receiver circuit. What is the frequency on that oscillator? Oh, it says R423 L10.74, and it's got a code on there, GD-R50 by GD Techway, ground data and 5 volts. So it looks like it's just a basic receiver that passes the signal on to the main control board. Okay, so although that remote receiver was an interesting thing to look at, we're actually going to be using an Arduino Uno to generate DMX signals that we're going to feed into the smoke machine. When the normal mains timer goes and turns on the machine, you've got about 5 minutes heat up time before it will be able to fire. So what we'll do is we'll make it so once the timer switches on, the Arduino will start counting its clock. Once it reaches 5 minutes, it will turn on the light effect and pulse the smoke for 15 seconds. Then it will switch off the smoke, keep the lights running for a few more seconds until the smoke dissipates, and then after a few more minutes the timer would shut it down because the cooling fan has a bit of time to run and things like that. Well, that's the plan, so let's get going. Okay, so now let's take the LED block apart and see what we're going to do with that one. Just wondering if when I do this, if all the LED lenses are just going to fall around. It's only 21 lenses, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle.
21.
Thank you. Pleasure. Oh, that's okay then. Not too loose there. So it should be easy enough to just make a base for this and then cast it in some clear resin to make it nice and waterproof. Okay, so when you're cutting an aluminium board that's got LEDs on it, you must be careful of the traces. You can't see it properly because there's matte black solder mask over here. But I've actually cut the trace. It runs from this positive of the blue LED to that negative over there. So I'm going to just put a bridge piece in and then hopefully they'll work again. Trying to figure out the best way to route this jumper. Oh, I'm not going to use that screw hole anymore anyway, so let's see if the lens still goes on. Yes, it does. There's enough clearance in that part. And let's stick another lens on. Okay, so that does work. So I have cut it a bit smaller so it fits into the head of the fitting nicer. So now I'm going to give it a good spray with plastic 70 conformal coating just to give it weatherproof, because this site that's going to is basically about 100 meters from the beach. Yeah, so I'm going to coat this whole thing. I'm going to cover the LEDs. I'm going to coat it all with some conformal coating. And then we'll see about how we're going to pot it, just to make sure it stays working for at least a few months. By now, obviously, we have voided the warranty, so there's no going back from here. Okay, so now that I've taken the unit apart, voided the warranty and already broken something, I have clear coated the LED board with that conformal coating. Now I'm going to look at potting it with the clear resin, and then we'll carry on from there. So stay tuned for the next installment in this video of this little project. Click on the subscribe button, click on the bell icon there to be notified as soon as the next video goes up. Check you later.